Mark Morowitz. He's a familiar voice and sometimes a face, but now we are on, we're on the magic of Zoom, and we call it, we have our very special thing that we now say ZOOMERTIMES TV, because it worked, Boomer Times, now it's Zoomer Times. And Mark Morowitz is a financial guru. I say that, but he also has another side to him. So Mark, you also are, I think, a psychologist, you're a humanist, you're a lot of things. How does that make you feel?
My kids have told me I'm a philosopher.
See?
I never thought so. I thought I was a very lineal thinker, but apparently when I want to, I can think outside the box.
Mark, I never asked this of you in all our interviews. When you were going to school, in elementary school and junior high and high school, did you think you were going to be a CPA? Is this something that you had in your mind?
No, I was going to be a doctor all through 3 years of college.
Really?
And then I woke up one day and said, who am I kidding?
Why? You didn't think that was right for you?
You know what? I took, I didn't have the grades, and I took too many liberties when I got to college. I was a really good boy in high school. I got to college, started feeling my oats, and I just didn't do enough. So I grabbed an accounting book and said, this looks pretty good, and became an accountant.
What did your father do?
My father was the world's greatest salesman. Unfortunately, he didn't work for good companies. He never really made a good living, but he was a, I'd like to think that he was a father for a living. He was a wonderful father, taught me a lot. I miss him dearly. And I like to think that I got my personality from him.
Oh, how lovely that is. Well, and do you have brothers and sisters?
I do. I have an older sister and a younger brother.
Okay, so you are a family guy, and I know you have children. We've talked about that also. They're in California.
Correct.
But
I'm going to give a shout out to my middle son who finally made it through college after 17 years. So shout out to him. Of course, I wasn't 17 years straight, but he finally decided that he wanted to finish college. So he just graduated, and I didn't get a chance. I was looking so forward to seeing him graduate,
yes.
But they didn't hold a graduation.
No.
So here I am.
Congratulations, though. That's probably going to be wonderful for him and for you. So you'll have to get out there some point, or he'll come here and you can celebrate, right?
I will.
Okay, so let's get down to the brass tacks about what you do as a CPA. You're not someone, I think, that just sits behind a desk. You're really you're very emotional with your clients. I can tell that from all the columns you write. You're not a typical CPA. Sorry.
No, I'm not. And one of the things that I think sets me apart for most people is my accessibility. And I don't think I ever tell somebody I don't have the time for them. So, I learned that from a dear friend of mine who's an attorney. And he said, I needed to speak to him a number of years ago. And I said, I know you're busy. He said, I'm always busy, but never too busy for my friends. So here I am.
That's a good thing to say. Yes,
Yeah,
I think we all could learn from that of course, we're always going to be busy, but if someone calls you and they need you, I'm not too busy. And and now with our cell phones, of course, we're even easier to reach.
Always.
So let's talk about something. You write a column every month for Boomer Times, and we look forward to it. But this time, I know you said, I just can't get it on. I don't know what to say. So what happened? Turned out very well.
Block. I just didn't have anything that, that I found shareable in the last couple of months. Maybe, it was the, April was a very difficult month with the CARES Act and the PPP loans, and it was a very difficult month. And then May, I finished up a bunch of tax returns. So it finally hit me the other day. I was looking through my Facebook wall, and just and watching TV and the news, and just seeing people they want to get out. It's 2 months. We need to open up the country. It's 2 months. I'm not having any fun. And I just said, this isn't supposed to be fun right now. This is supposed to be survival.
Yep.
And we're asked to make some sacrifices, for the sake of one another. Wear a mask.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
wear a mask. The businesses will open up soon enough. We have, thankfully, we have the taxpayers will support one another, but medically, they're not doing that. So people are out there without masks on, and it's a horrible, horrible thing to see. And,
Yes.
we have no, this is my opinion, I'm not making a political statement. We have no leadership,
Yes.
okay, that
Yes.
leads by example. So,
Yes, and all parties say that. It isn't political, it's obvious. Everybody does need a leader, especially during crisis like this. And I think that's why, thank goodness, the governors are really standing up, and they're doing a good job. Most of the time, we don't think about the governors so much. But boy, haven't we?
Right. Hey, I don't know if I ever mentioned to you, I was actually thinking of running for president in 2016. Literally.
No, you never told me that.
There was such a void, and this was before Donald Trump ever entered into the race. And I said, why can't I be the president? I can't. There was no way I was going to be able to raise money, the way politicians raise their money. But we had this amazing thing out there called social media. This was before any politician was using social media. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to get as many friends as I can all over the country and put this out there to people. And a lot of people, my kids' friends and everybody's friends, I ran it by a number of clients, legit, and they said, you know what, I think you'd be great.
I do too.
Then I had a couple of people that talked me out of it. And you want to know something? It was the perfect storm. I could have won that election as easily as well as Donald Trump. And I can honestly say that this country would be in a lot better shape today if I was the president.
I agree. Oh my goodness, I imagine I'd be interviewing the president now. Oh my God.
You can call me president, that's okay.
What did some of your friends say? They thought it was too big? They didn't want to be a president?
Yeah, they didn't believe, they thought that you had to be, nobody thought outside the box. Everybody said, well, how are you going to enter these primaries and how are you going to raise the money? And I said, if you do it on social media, you don't have to raise it. This was even before I didn't even think about raising money on social media. I was just going to go and talk to people and get the votes, okay? Tell them to write my name in, write me in on your ballots, and we'll see what happens. So that was my idea. So, but I let somebody talk me out of it, and I it was a mistake. It was a mistake.
It was a mistake. Can you imagine if you? Oh, well, that's good. That's another thing I didn't know about you. Thank you.
Yeah.
You
Look at this face. Who wouldn't want this face to be their president, right?
I know Leonie's hysterical wherever she is watching this.
Good.
Yeah, but but that's true. But I still think, well, just like even now, who would want to be president with all this? It's going to be very tough.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a tough deal now, and I think what people don't realize is it's really a global economy. This isn't just our own little country here. What's going on all over the world is we've never seen this before.
Well, we've never isolated ourselves from the rest of the world like we have in the last couple of years. And frankly, I think the rest of the world is saying, you know what? We don't need you. We get along without you at this point. So
yes, I agree with you. We have not, we're supposed to be, we always feel we're the biggest and the best, but you're right. There are a lot of other countries, especially now China and also, well, let's just hope that we can get over the coronavirus. That's the most important thing right now, right?
That's for sure, for sure.
And I agree with you. I live near a couple of big restaurants here. One's called, I don't want to particularly give them a lot of fame and all, but people know Two Georges and Banana Boat. I live right there. And I went, there was walking my dog, and boy, they're all there. They're sitting at the bar, and I thought, what is this going on? I mean, the waiters had, the wait staff, they had on masks, but the other people didn't. And that's very foolish.
Again, people are selfish, and you know, they want instant gratification. They don't want to, you know, they don't want to put up with what you have to put up with in order to attain something positive. And you know, as I wrote in my article, you know, can you imagine what would have happened in World War II if FDR said to the manufacturers, "We got to start manufacturing tanks and planes," and they said, "No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It's too hard." Can you imagine?
Exactly. Exactly. Let me just give your phone number out too, because I think it's important. If anyone wants a really good CPA, someone who is kind, gentle, smart, and he isn't president, but he could have been, 609-338-3603. That's right. It's the former potential president, 609-338-3603. Mark Morowitz. That's Morowitz. Please do get Boomer Times, the June issue coming up, and you'll be able to read his article, but you could read it in any of the other magazines that we've been publishing. So let's just get through this now. So now you've gotten all your people, you know, taken care of. It's now past April, it's May, and now it's going to be June. What are you doing now for fun?
Well, here's the thing. So, you know, we got an extension to do taxes until July 15th. So I'm not done. I'm stretching everything out. I actually have just set up 15 appointments in New Jersey for the week of June 15th that I have people I haven't seen and didn't want to mail me their information. So I'm still working, still have other stuff that I have to do. Pretty soon it'll be, you know, preparing forgiveness documents for the PPP loans, and it's one of those years. I don't think I'm going to not be busy at all this whole year, but you know, I'm not going to my happy hours like I used to. I'm catching up on some television that I haven't gotten to see. Some really good shows that are on Netflix.
Right. Yeah, but actually, you're going to fly to New Jersey?
I am. You know, Spirit just opened up their planes. They weren't flying at all, and so they're probably not going to be more than 50% full, I hope. But I'll wear my mask, and hopefully, you have to wear a mask to be on the plane. So hopefully it'll work out okay. But
yeah,
I got to open up my business too. So
yeah, it's I've been really very careful, but I do see that people are starting to do it. In fact, even the cruise ships are starting to get back, and so. Well, I think as long as everybody tries to be careful, and it's just the people who aren't careful that's jumping. In most of the southern states, I think that's what's happened. Well, no, and also they're out in the West too. People just didn't believe that this is what it is, right? See, what I didn't understand, and maybe you can help me, when they equate liberty with this virus, I mean, what do you mean give you liberty? What is that?
So, you know, the protesters were out in force. In Michigan, they were out with assault rifles and things like that.
Right.
They're all chanting "Free our state, free our state."
Right.
You know, because they think that the governors are keeping everybody chained up, that they can't go to work, they can't make money. But there's reasons for that. You know, you need to take the time. And I'll tell you the truth, I'm very disappointed in Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx, because they sold out. You know, they should have stuck to their guns. They're doctors, okay? Yes. They're not politicians, but they got browbeaten to the point where they said, okay, well, you know what? Open up. I'm not going to say anything bad about it. And
well,
that's
Fauci,
what happened.
not so much. Fauci, not so much. In fact, I'll tell you, I just saw something that he was one of the early people in the Ebola and a lot of the viruses. He's quite a famous guy.
Yeah, he is.
I didn't think that he did sell out. You think he did?
He could have been. I think he could have been more vocal. Maybe that's me, because I would have retained my vocal. I would have still been loud about it had it been me, you know. But I guess I don't know. I think he sold out, but he does go on other news programs, yes, and does tell the truth as well.
She, as far as I'm concerned, she sold out.
Yeah, totally.
She definitely, yeah.
Totally.
But you're right. I see him on other shows, and he is really not. He's saying what he should say. But you see, that's the big problem with this president. That somehow he has a magical way of making people do what he wants, which I don't understand. So, and it's a political idea, and I'm not going to go there either.
Right.
But I do hope now that the people who are being casual, that it's going to increase. Obviously, it's going to increase it, and they think a vaccine's going to come very quickly. It's not. I believe we're going to be like this for another year.
At least. I mean, how long did it take to get the polio vaccine?
Yes.
Right?
Right.
I mean, it was like 6 years.
Yes.
12 years, something like that. And I mean, there's still no vaccine for HIV.
Yeah.
So you know, but the presidents didn't go on in those times and have fireside chats and say, we'll have a vaccine in 6 months. We're, you know, it's just, listen, I hope we do. It would be nice to get back to some kind of normalcy. But I was telling a friend today, I said, all the things that you think are normal from the past, throw them out the window.
I agree.
Don't even think about it anymore. It's never going to be that way.
Yeah, everything has changed, because just like what we're doing now, I gave up the radio because it doesn't make as much sense. I like seeing you in the face and getting this right on YouTube. So I just think it's a thing of the past. But what I guess I'm thinking though is, how do we, just like the office space, I think a lot of people are going to like to work from home, and I think you're going to see huge amounts of office space available. What do you think?
So 5 years ago, I did this experiment. I decided to move to Florida, but keep my office in New Jersey. I didn't have any business in Florida. A couple of clients, but nothing major. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to move so that I pay lower property taxes. Okay. And I did. And I told my clients, they didn't care. They said, as long as you're available. So we had this thing called the cloud. So as long as people could call me and ask me questions, and I started going paperless and scanning all of my documents so I could access anything anybody needed at any time, okay, day or night. So it's worked out well for me there. And finally, so in the interim, I've been, you know, trying to generate some business in Florida, and I've been doing okay. And, you know, now I'm at the point where this virus and this pandemic have gotten people to say, I guess I can just mail you my stuff. I don't need to see you anymore. So for me, and this really started, I would say, with large accounting firms, maybe 10, 15 years ago, when I would walk into when I started out in Manhattan, I would walk into this 80-story building, and there'd be this big accounting firm would have 8 floors of 300 people on a floor. About 10 or 15 years ago, when laptops and the cloud came out, they said to people, you know, we're going to give you a laptop. We're going to cut down on our floor space, and we're going to give we're going to have maybe 300 cubbies, okay, in on a floor. And we're going to let you come in once a month to do your stuff in the office. The rest of the time, you're going to be able to remote in with your laptop. And that's been happening for the past 10 years. Somebody's come to realize, as you have, is you can work remotely. I mean, it's something to get used to. You know, you have to make believe that you're actually going to work in the morning, take a shower, get, you know, put on a few clothes. I mean, I'm wearing shorts underneath, but, you know,
Right.
But I think the commercial real estate market is going to take a big hit.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, my son is an attorney in Miami in one of those huge high buildings. He's with a law firm that has about 38 offices all over the country. And they told him at the beginning, all of them, it doesn't matter what kind of a company, but the insurance, they deal mostly with representing insurance companies. He's an immigration attorney, but the point is that they said everyone could work from home. All these attorneys could work from home. Now, the insurance attorneys, they don't see clients anyway. They're representing the insurance companies.
right.
Chandler does see people, but they've also, you know, they can't see people, but he does like to go to the office because he has his wife who's also an attorney. She works from home, and they have triplets. So the 3 children are at home, you know, with working on Zoom for the classes. So he said, well, I'd like to go to the office. It's quiet. No one's there, so I can get a lot of work done. But his wife really would like to work from home. She's enjoying this.
It's
and
wonderful.
So we're giving up our office in Boca but we're keeping it as a virtual office. I've had that for many years where we have everything there. We can use their boardroom. If you and we were going to have a meeting, we either going to go downstairs and the dining area, or we're going to go upstairs and we'll have a place. It doesn't make sense to spend that money.
That's right. That's right. That's where we've gotten to.
Yeah, so I think there are going to be some very permanent changes. Now, one thing, and I don't know how you are, but we live, my condominium is across from a very big park. We hear the birds. Of course, I have a dog and he gets walked 3 times a day, but we hear things we didn't hear before. We see things we didn't hear. We're having a lot of more in-depth conversations with our friends all over the country.
We're taking the opportunity to slow down and smell the roses and all the things, work was always 9 to 5. 9 to 5, you do nothing but work. But you know what? It's okay to do other things during the day. It's okay to ride your bike, take an hour off during the day and ride your bike. Somebody calls, I'll call you back. It's okay. Life can expand beyond 9 to 5. And if I call people back at 8 o'clock, it's okay. No problem. So I think that this is actually going to have, some good effects. All right. And once we get past the health issues, and I actually look forward to it. I feel like a trailblazer.
So Trailblazer, Mark Morowitz, you can call him at 609-338-3603. And he's a great CPA, but he's a great man, and he's not president, so you won't be having your meeting with the ex-president or the potential president. But so you haven't really gotten involved with politics, though, have you?
Well,
in any other way?
I have, but I'm not the president, but I did sleep in a Holiday Inn Express last night. So I was involved in statewide politics in New Jersey a number of years ago, and I had my fill of that. I didn't like it. I just felt like, people, I'm naive. I truly believe in helping people, and most politicians I found didn't. So I thought I would, at some point, I thought my friend would become the governor of New Jersey and I would become the commissioner of taxation, but that didn't work out. So here I am. Now, politics is makes for strange bedfellows, and that's not for me.
So tell me about when you said the PPP forgiveness, because I did get a PPP loan. And I actually am going to do what they said. I mean, I have no trouble using it for payroll and certain things, but why is it important for forgiveness? I mean, if you do that, isn't that going to be okay?
So you have to make sure you spend your money in the right places. And there might be some surprises. If you do everything right and you spend your money in the right place, you retain, and you spent the money on maintaining your payroll.
Yes.
Okay. You maintain your staff and you maintained your payroll, and you spent 75% of your loan proceeds on your payroll at least prior rates that you had with the same number of employees.
Right.
And you spent the other 25% on things that are allowable, you shouldn't have a problem. But there's a lot of vagaries going on, yes. A lot of things that I didn't know about before everybody got the loans, and there are things that may catch some people. So,
well, the one thing I hear they're saying is, although everyone's supposed to have done it by May 15th, it's not possible.
No, it's an 8-week period.
Yeah,
from the time you got your proceeds till
right.
8 weeks is up. So
right, but now they're fighting that. They're saying that's not possible to do that by that time because a lot of people are on unemployment. They've lost people. I mean, it's a big
changes every day.
Right. Well, what I don't know, and it's a big question, is they keep, the money machine just keeps printing out more money. Can that just keep happening?
It's what the federal government's good at. They print more money. They sell bonds. We owe money. I don't know when I think I read something that right now I think each taxpayer is on the hook for $35,000. And I remember something about 7 or 8 years ago in New Jersey where I read something that every New Jersey taxpayer was on the hook for $43,000. And I actually wrote a letter to the governor and said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take out a home equity loan on my house. I'm going to send you $43,000. Don't borrow any more money without my approval. So I want approval on everything you borrow money for.
I love it.
Okay. Of course, I didn't really do that, but that was my thought process.
Right.
So they will just, because look, in four years, 8 years tops, this administration is going to be gone. Okay. And they don't care. They don't care. So I care. My kids care. I care for my kids.
Of course.
If I ever have grandchildren, I care for them.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to have to take care of this. Not going to be us. So.
Yeah, it's because I remember that the budget was always the biggest discussion, and now it doesn't seem to be. But I'm not enough. I can't. I don't have any part in it. So there's nothing I can do. I'm just a bystander, really. But Mark, we were just told that we have 2 minutes left, so I think everybody's going to enjoy your column. And now you have to start thinking for July, and that's, it's hard.
I actually came up with something yesterday again, and I think I'll use it. I'm glad that I'm able to, not just do financial things.
Right,
I'm glad I can express my social values in this magazine, and
of course.
I'm glad I have that opportunity.
Oh, actually, we're glad to have you because you'll notice that many things here. There are many, many articles that are not just really on health or wealth or, because that's why people like it. And of course, we're not going to put on our big expo. We may do something different. We're going to rethink that. It might be online. I don't know what we're going to do, but it's causing our creativity to run rampant.
That's good.
I know, it's good. Yeah,
I'm really digging this ZOOMERTIMES thing. I really like it.
I'd really like it too. ZOOMERTIMES TV, and now you'll be able to see everything today. I mean, but it's really because Dan is a miracle guy.
It saves me the driving, the mileage to Boca Raton. I still get 2 months to the gallon. It's great.
Right. Yeah, someone just said they're not driving a lot, so they went back to the insurance company, and the insurance company's going to give them a rebate on whatever they're getting. I mean, there's lots of things, huh?
I got $56.
Oh, so you did also. But before we leave, I'll just say one thing though. There are some big companies that are probably going to go under, and I've been reading about that.
You know what? And it's sad, but at the same time, there was no forethought. I mean, this world has been changing for a long time. Once the internet came into being back in the late 90s, this world changed, and a lot of these companies became dinosaurs. Yeah. So in fact, I just saw a T-shirt I'm going to get. It's I'm now calling myself an accountosaurus.
That's fantastic.
We'll see.
I love that. So it's 609-338-3603. That's Mark Morowitz, and thank you, Mark. It's just always a pleasure to have you, and you look great.
Thanks.
You're gonna be inventing a lot of new things too.
I hope so, and I guess I'll see you at the at 2 Georges of the Banana Boat.
Oh, I'm not going there. No, I'm not.
No. I mean a year from now when we can go out.
Oh, okay. All right, we have a date. Yes, you can come by, and then I'll be my treat. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
Have a great day.